Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Saturday, November 9th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin with WWE Smackdown broadcast live last night on the USA Network from the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. The original Bloodline reunited in the closing segment of the show with Sami Zayn saving Roman Reigns from an attack by the new Bloodline and the Usos joining in to chase them off.
Here comes Fatu.
Fatu upset over that. Superman punch by Reigns. Helluva kick by Sami. Roman Reigns locked and loaded with a spear. Not the way that Solo wanted the Tribal Chief Acknowledgement ceremony to go.
Initially, in the opening segment of the show, Reigns had rejected the Usos' request for Reigns to accept Zayn. During another in-ring segment, Kevin Owens attacked Randy Orton, pile-driving him and causing him to be stretchered out of the arena.
Kevin Owens, no pile driver. God. There's a reason that damn move is banned. Kevin Owens with a pile driver to Randy Orton, who was out for 18 months with a serious back injury. Never thought he'd wrestle again, and now this sicko, this lunatic, Kevin Owens, just delivered a pile driver to Randy Orton.
Get the hell out now.
What the hell is wrong with you?
SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis unveiled the new WWE Women's United States Championship belt, indicating that he would soon be determining who the first holder of the new title might be. This marks the first time that WWE has ever introduced a mid-card women's title. The Motor City Machine Guns made their first defense of the WWE Tag Team Championship, turning back the challenge of A-Town Down Under. Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill were also in action, beating Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. In other results, DIY defeated Pretty Deadly, and Bayley pinned Candice LeRae. AEW presented Rampage last night on TNT, featuring matches taped on Wednesday in Manchester, New Hampshire. In the main event, Lio Rush defeated Commander. In other results, Top Flight defeated Beef and JD Drake. Hikaru Shida topped Viva Van, and in a three-way match, the Undisputed Kingdom emerged victorious over the Dark Order and the Infantry. New Japan Pro Wrestling presented their Fighting Spirit Unleashed show from the Lowell Memorial Auditorium in Lowell, Massachusetts last night. In the main event, New Japan Strong Openweight Champion Gabe Kidd turned back the challenge of Kosei Fujita. AEW International Champion Konosuke Takeshita was also successful on the show, defeating TJP to retain. After the match, Takeshita was challenged by Strong Openweight Champion Shingo Takagi for a double title match at the Tokyo Dome on January 4th. In the only title change of the night, the Grizzled Young Veterans knocked off Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste to win the Strong Tag Team Championship. In legal news, Dr. Carlin Coker of the Peak Wellness Clinic is asking the Connecticut Superior Court to deny Janelle Grant's request for evidence from him, according to a report from Brandon Thurston of Post Wrestling. Coker's attorneys are claiming that Grant's legal team has already been provided with electronic copies of the medical and billing records that are being requested. Said Grant's attorney Ann Callis, quote, "By his own admission, Dr. Coker's filing today all but confirms that they have withheld the requested records for fear that they could lead to further legal action against him. Miss Grant deserves answers, and we respectfully ask the court to compel Dr. Coker and Peak Wellness to provide her with the long overdue clarity," end quote. And in more WWE news, the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event is scheduled for Toronto's Rogers Center, formerly known as the Sky Dome, on March 1st, according to an official announcement made yesterday. This makes the second consecutive year that Elimination Chamber has been held outside the United States after this year's event in Perth, Australia. This would also be the first WWE event presented at Rogers Center since WrestleMania 18 in 2002. And new names have been revealed among the signees to WWE's new independent development program. These names include Jack Cartwheel of GCW, Zara Zucker of MPW, and Sean Legacy from Pro Wrestling Revolution and Pro Wrestling Noah. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.